going on, guys? Today I'm going to be bringing you a little head-to-head on action between the iPad 3rd generation right here on my left and the little guy right here on the right, the iPad mini. Now, I'm going to be covering from size differences, a little comparison of that, as well as some hardware changes, and also a little bit of performance test and all that good stuff. So I'm going to be showing you some of the differences between all of that, between the iPad 3rd generation and the little mini me right there on the right. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Now, of course, you see the differences in size right here. Now, the iPad mini is rocking a 7.9 inch display, as to where the iPad 3rd generation and all other iPads are rocking a 9.7 inch display. Now, we'll get a little bit into the display resolution and all that a little later, because there is a difference in that. But first, I kind of want to show you what the difference is in between the iPad mini and the iPad 3rd generation in size. Kind of give you a little visual right here. So you see here, as I stack the iPad mini on top of the iPad, there is quite a bit of a difference. You may think it wasn't that much of a difference, but actually in person and here on screen, of course, you can kind of tell how much of a difference it is. Now let's go ahead and cover some hardware or external changes and all that good stuff. Now, if we take a look here on the side, we have our silent switch on both our iPad mini and our iPad 3rd generation. And then we do have the volume controls, but on the iPad mini, they're actually separated little buttons there. And then on the iPad 3rd generation, it is actually a volume rocker. Now, flipping it to the top, we have our headphone jack on the right on both devices, as well as a microphone right smack dab in the middle of both. And then we have our little power/sleep button on the left. Now, going to the bottom, we actually have the new lightning connector on the iPad mini, and that lightning connector is surrounded by two speakers on each side, as to where the iPad 3rd generation actually has a 30-pin connector, and the speakers are actually on the bottom left of the iPad, or whichever way you're looking at it, front or back, bottom left or bottom right. I don't know which way you're looking at it, but if you're looking at it from the front, it's on the left. But anyways, flipping it to the back, we have a camera on both of these. Now, the iPad 3rd generation is rocking a 5 megapixel camera that shoots in 1080p HD video, and the iPad mini actually has the same exact one. It's a 5 megapixel camera that shoots in 1080p HD as well. I believe the iPad mini was slightly improved with colors and stabilizations and all that good stuff, but I am not too sure about that, so don't quote me on that. Anyways, flipping it to the front, we have the front-facing camera on both devices. Now, the iPad 3rd generation actually has a lower quality camera because it has a VGA, which shoots in VGA, which is not that great of quality, as to where the iPad mini actually has a 1.2 megapixel FaceTime HD camera that shoots in 720p HD, which is pretty nice. Now, putting both of these side by side, we do see how much thinner the iPad mini is compared to the iPad 3rd generation. Now, with this thinness on the iPad mini, it is actually, of course, going to be a lot lighter than the iPad. I actually like the feel and like the lightness of it. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to some performance tests. Now, when it comes to processors, the iPad mini is running an A5 processor chip, which is actually the same one that is in the iPhone 4S. Now, on the iPad 3rd generation, is actually rocking an A5X chip, which is going to be a boost up from the A5. And I wanted to do a little Geekbench score test run, whatever you want to call it, here on our devices and see which one actually scores best. Geekbench is actually an application that you can actually test out the performance of your processor as well as your memory on your device. Now, I'll quickly run this test, and when it's done, these are the scores it gave me. As you see here on the left, we got our iPad 3rd generation scoring at 759 and the iPad mini scoring at 754. Now, you see there, the performance is not that much of a difference between the iPad 3rd generation and the iPad mini. Now, both of these devices do run Siri on iOS 6. Now, let's go ahead and test out Siri real quick. What's up, Siri?
Hello, JB Tech.
So as you see there, iPad mini and the iPad 3rd generation are both running Siri. Now let's go ahead and compare one of the last things between the iPad 3rd generation and the iPad mini. Now you see here, you probably can't tell that much of a difference through the camera, but the iPad mini actually rocks a 1024 by 768 resolution, which comes out to be in 162 ppi, which stands for pixels per inch, as to where the iPad 3rd generation rocks the Retina display, which is a resolution of 2048 by 1536, which comes out to be in 264 pixels per inch. So basically, the resolution doubles between the iPad mini to the iPad 3rd generation Retina display. Now that is one of the biggest things that everybody was kind of bummed out about. I was too, but honestly it's not that much of a difference due to the fact that you're actually looking at a smaller display. If you're looking at the iPad 2nd generation, that actually had the same display as this iPad mini, and you could actually tell the difference between that one and the 3rd generation and now the 4th generation iPad with the Retina display. But as for the iPad mini itself, the resolution is not that much of a downside. I actually love my iPad mini. I've been using it a lot, and I actually use this more than my iPad 3rd generation now. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Maybe this made up your mind between the iPad and the iPad mini. I'm gonna be coming out with plenty more iPad mini videos, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And as always, go ahead and hit that like button to give this video a thumbs up and to show me that you liked it. Helps me out a lot, and it also supports the channel. Anyways, for future updates, go ahead and follow me on Facebook and or on Twitter. I have the links down below in the description. And if you feel like being awesome, go ahead and hit that subscribe button up top so you'll be notified when I come out with all my latest videos and my future iPad mini videos. Now let me know what your thoughts about the iPad mini versus the iPad 3rd generation. What is the biggest downfall, or what is that you don't like or do like? And if you are gonna get one, which one are you gonna get, the iPad mini or the regular size iPad? I'm interested in knowing what you think and what device you'll be getting. But anyways, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I'll catch you all on the next video. Alright, peace.